In this video, we are going to be looking at tuples in Python. So what are tuples? So tuples are ordered, immutable collection of items that allows duplicates, or you can say they take duplicates. So the major difference between tuples and lists is in that lists are mutable, while tuples are immutable. That is, after you have created a tuple, you cannot add, you cannot delete, and you cannot modify that tuple. So let's look at this. So to create a tuple, you use parentheses like this. So we can have a collection of items. So I can have collection of fruits like mango. So apple, mango. I can have orange. Can have apple again. Can have cherry. Let me add one more. I can have banana. So I can give this a variable fruit. So I can now print this fruit right here in the terminal. So we have fruits, apple, mango, orange, and we have this apple again. So we can see that the duplicate value apple is printed. Good. What other types of data can we have in this? We can have numbers. So we can have one, you can have any list of numbers you want. I can have 5, I can have 1 again, I can have 8. So I can print numbers. So we have these numbers. Beautiful. Can also have a mixed kind of data, like we can have string. So let me use my parentheses first. So you can have strings, you can have numbers like, let's say 20. You can have false, like a boolean, which can be either true or false. We can have floating point number like this. So we can print mixed. So we can see this mixed set of data or collection of items. Beautiful. So we said they are ordered. So we can look at their order. How can we look at their order? So for example, I can, in Python, so numbers start from 0. So start counting from 0. For example, this is at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we call this their index. So if I want to access this first item, for example, I can use 0. So I can print fruit 0. So look at this, I have apple. So I've accessed this index 0. If I want to access orange, for example, I will use 2. Okay, so I see orange. That is beautiful. So I can also read from the back like this. I can use -1 to read from the back, so I can get the last item. So you see banana right here. I can also get the second to the last item, like if I want to get cherry. So I use -2. So I have cherry printed out. So that is good. So I can also slice through, like we can use this notation like, sorry, so not a notation, more accurately I can say slicing or indexing. So I can use the colon like this to slice through. So I can have from mango down here. So I can read from mango, like from the index 1 down here. So look at this. So mango, orange, apple, cherry, banana. So I can also slice in between, like probably I want to read from year to year, or I want to read from mango to apple. So I can use 4. So it starts from here and it ends here. So it excludes this index at 4. What do I mean? Let me print this out so you can see. So look at this. We have mango, orange, apple. So mango, orange, apple excluding 4. That is index 4. So that's how we can slice through. So you can also read, for example, you can read probably everything from this -2 right here. So look at this. So look at this. We have apple, mango, orange, apple. So everything before this -2, like this. Apple, mango, orange, apple. So you can read everything before cherry. having known this fundamental, you can go ahead and try some other things on your own. You can also read everything by using this column. So you can see every item in this tuple. So that is it. So what are the methods that tuples have? It has only two methods actually. So we can look at index. For example, we can look at the index where we have mango. So this should return 1. So you can see this mango is at index 1. So peradventure, we just want to look at the position of any value in our tuples. Probably we have a long collection of items. So you want to see the index that they are. So you can use that. So we can also count number of occurrence like apple. We know apple appeared twice, so we can count it. So look at this. Return number of occurrence of value. So we can count this. So we can see that the number of occurrence of apple is 2, which is true, right? So those are the methods that we have in tuples. And why do we have only 2 methods? Because look at this. We said they are ordered. So we have looked at their order by using their index 0, 1, 2, like we have looked at earlier. So we can count and we can look at their index. But they are immutable. That is, I can't use a method like this. For example, let's say I want to add, like, let's say append. This will not work. It's going to throw an error. So let me say append almond, like in list. So look at this. Tuple object has no attribute append. So you cannot add to this list. You cannot remove, you cannot add to these tuples, rather, not a list. So you can't add to this collection of items. Do you understand? And it allows duplicates. So that's why we have a lot of methods in lists and we have a few of them in tuples. So this is the basic of tuples. So the main idea of this video is for you to get their characteristics. So in coming videos, we are going to see more advanced concept.